What if one of the biggest influences on the way you experience the world isn't your personality, your upbringing, or even your education, but the hand you naturally use every day? If you're left-handed, you've probably spent your entire life making small adjustments that most people never notice. Not because something is wrong with you, but because most of the world was designed for someone else. And while being left-handed may seem like a simple physical trait, psychologists have long been interested in how this experience can shape the way people think, adapt, and interact with their environment. Today, we're exploring the psychology of left-handed people, the unique experiences many of them share, and why growing up slightly outside the norm may develop strengths that often go unnoticed. Most people move through their day without thinking about how the world around them was designed. They pick up a pair of scissors, sit at a desk, use a notebook, or grab a kitchen tool, and everything works exactly as expected. For many left-handed people, however, everyday life often involves small adjustments that others rarely notice. A notebook's spiral gets in the way. A classroom desk feels awkward. A computer mouse is placed on the opposite side. None of these challenges are life-changing, but they happen often enough to become part of daily life. Over time, these experiences can create a unique awareness of the environment. Left-handed people frequently learn that the easiest solution isn't always available to them, so they become comfortable finding alternatives. This constant adaptation may seem insignificant, but psychologists suggest that repeated exposure to small challenges can encourage flexibility and problem-solving skills. Instead of expecting the world to change, many learn how to adjust and keep moving forward. Adaptability is rarely something people consciously develop. More often, it's built through experience. For many left-handed individuals, those experiences begin early and continue throughout life. When something feels awkward, they often learn to modify their approach. If one method doesn't work, they try another. Over time, this creates a habit of looking for solutions rather than focusing on obstacles. Psychologists often associate this kind of thinking with cognitive flexibility, the ability to adjust strategies when circumstances change. This mindset can extend beyond physical tasks. The habit of adapting may influence how someone responds to unexpected situations, setbacks, or new environments. While every person is different, many left-handed individuals describe themselves as resourceful and resilient, perhaps because they've spent years learning that there is usually more than one way to accomplish a goal. Rather than seeing challenges as dead ends, they often view them as problems waiting for a different solution. One of the most common beliefs about left-handed people is that they're more creative. While the science is more nuanced than popular culture suggests, there may be reasons why this idea has persisted for so long. Creativity isn't just about art, music, or writing. At its core, creativity is the ability to see possibilities beyond the obvious solution. It's about exploring alternatives, making unusual connections, and approaching situations from different angles. Researchers have explored differences in how left-handed and right-handed individuals process information, but psychologists caution against broad conclusions. Not every left-handed person is creative, and not every creative person is left-handed. However, many experts believe that years of adaptation can encourage flexible thinking. When you're regularly required to find alternative ways of doing things, you naturally become more comfortable exploring options that others may never consider. Instead of assuming there is only one correct approach, you learn that multiple solutions often exist, and that mindset can become a powerful foundation for creative thinking. For many left-handed people, the awareness of being different begins in childhood. It's usually not a dramatic realization. Instead, it comes through small moments that gradually add up. You notice that most classmates use a different hand. You realize certain activities feel easier for them than they do for you. You begin recognizing that what feels natural to you isn't always the standard for everyone else. Psychologists have found that experiences of being outside the majority, even in relatively small ways, can influence how people view social norms and expectations. When you're regularly reminded that your experience differs from most others, you often become more aware of the assumptions people make about what is considered normal. This awareness can encourage independence and perspective-taking. It teaches an important lesson early in life. Not everyone experiences the world in exactly the same way. And once you understand that, it often becomes easier to appreciate different perspectives and experiences. Another interesting pattern often reported by left-handed people is heightened awareness of details that others overlook. When something isn't designed specifically for you, you tend to notice design choices more carefully. You become aware of how environments influence behavior. You start asking questions that most people never think to ask. Why is this tool shaped this way? Why is this setup considered standard? Why does everyone assume this is the default option? Over time, this habit of observation can extend beyond handedness itself. Many left-handed individuals become skilled at noticing patterns, assumptions, and inefficiencies that others simply accept without question. This doesn't mean every left-handed person is unusually observant, but years of paying attention to small inconveniences may encourage a broader awareness of how systems and environments affect people's daily lives. Sometimes seeing the world from a slightly different angle allows you to notice things that others miss entirely. Perhaps the most important psychological lesson has very little to do with handedness itself. It's about what happens when you spend years adapting to situations that weren't specifically designed for you. Along the way, many people develop qualities such as flexibility, patience, persistence, and resourcefulness. These strengths don't emerge because being left-handed is inherently difficult. They emerge because adaptation becomes a regular part of life. Small adjustments repeated over many years can quietly build confidence and resilience. You learn that obstacles aren't always permanent. You learn that there are often multiple paths forward. And you learn that being different doesn't automatically mean being disadvantaged. In many cases, it simply means developing strengths through experiences that others may never encounter. So, is there really a unique psychology behind being left-handed? Not because left-handed people are fundamentally different from everyone else, but because their experiences often are. Growing up in a world largely designed for right-handed people can encourage adaptability, awareness, flexibility, and creative problem-solving. These qualities aren't guaranteed, and they don't apply to every individual. But they help explain why so many left-handed people recognize themselves in these patterns. Ultimately, the story of left-handedness isn't just about which hand you use. It's about how small experiences can shape the way you think, respond to challenges, and understand the world around you. Now I'm curious, if you're left-handed, what's the most relatable part of this video? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring the hidden psychology behind everyday experiences, subscribe for more videos. You might be surprised by how much psychology is hiding in the ordinary moments of life.